Today's lesson is 1-8, Estimating with Scientific Notation, and you are working in your workbook on pages 54 to 56. Now, as we go through the lesson, I expect that you're going to write in your notebook as I'm writing on the slides. So that means you're going to have to pause me kind of frequently, write down what I write down, and then start me up again. Since we're just starting with scientific notation, we're going to learn how to write it and how to estimate with it. So example number 1 is showing us that when you want to estimate a very large quantity, you're going to start by rounding to the greatest place value. Then the format is a single digit times a power of 10. So there are 3 parts to scientific notation: a single digit, a multiplication sign, and a power of 10. So if you look at this, the population of China, we're going to go ahead and start by rounding to the greatest place value, which is this one right here. If you look, the 4 is not big enough to round that up, so we're going to turn everything after that 1 into a 0. There is a hidden decimal at the end of every number. So we need that decimal here in a second. We know that we're going to have 1 times. Now to figure out that 9, we're going to count until it's right after the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plop it down right after that first digit. That is your exponent. All right, Japan. We are rounding to the highest place value, which is here. That 2 is not big enough to round up, so everything turns to zeros. Here's your 1. Here's your multiplication sign. Here's your 10. And to figure out your exponent, you start at the end and you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plop it down right after that 1, and that's scientific notation. Now it's easy for us to compare our estimated values because notice our 1s are the same. So the only difference is our power of 10. And you should know that is 10 times bigger than that one. All right, this is the try it at the bottom of page 54. So let's go ahead and think through it first. Light travels at this really big number of meters per second. Sound travels at 332 meters per second. Let me actually change that color. There we go. We're going to use a power of 10 to compare the speed of light to the speed of sound. So the very first thing I want you to do is I want you to look at this number, and we're going to round to the highest place value, which would be the 2. But notice the next number is a 9, and that is big enough to round up. So that's going to become a 3, and everything else becomes zeros. If you count them up, there are 8 zeros in the rounded number. So we're going to take our 3 times 10. Remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the 8th power. Let's do the same thing with the meters per second for sound. We're going to round to the greatest place value, which is 3. This other 3 is not big enough to round up, so everything after the first 3 turns into zeros. There are 2 zeros. Remember, we're going to keep our 3. We are going to move from the end, 1, 2, 3 times 10 to the 2nd power. So now, I just want you to pay attention. For estimating, the number of zeros happens to be your exponent. Now, it's not always going to be, but for this lesson it is. So we are comparing 3 times 10 to the 8th power to 3 times 10 to the 2nd power. Our 3's are the same, so we're just really comparing our exponents, and 8 tenths is more than 2 tenths. All right, we are now on example number 2 on page 55, and we're going to talk very small numbers. So Matthias is going to use a laser to measure the average thickness of a human hair. A sheet of paper is about this thick. How do the thicknesses compare? Here's our piece of paper, by the way. It's in the picture. We're going to start off doing exactly the same thing. We are going to round to the largest place value. So if we look at that, that would be this number right here. That 7 is big enough to round up to a 2. And since everything behind it is zeros and we're in the decimal world, I really don't need those. But I do need the 3 zeros in front. So this one is 2 times 10. Now be careful on this one. I'm going to start at the decimal, and I want it to land after the 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, land it. And it's a negative because it's a decimal or a fraction. So remember, when we have very small numbers, we only have parts of things. And so when we learned our negative exponents, we found out that a negative exponent is used to show a fraction or a decimal. All right, we're going to do the same thing for our sheet of paper. Here's our number, but we're going to round to the largest place value. That 3 is not big enough to round up. Since it's in the decimal world, I don't need all those zeros after my 1, but I absolutely need the 2 zeros before the 1. So 1 is my number times 10. Now remember, we want the decimal to land after the 1. So 1, 2, 3. And it's negative because it's a very small number. So now we're going to compare. And if you notice, we have more zeros, the more negative our exponent. The more zeros, the smaller the number when we're talking decimals. So this has a whole extra place value than that has, so we have less than. All right, example number 3. How does the gross domestic product of Canada compare to that of the United States? All right, here we go. We've got some very large numbers. We have Canada. We have the U.S. We are going to go ahead and estimate, so we're going to round to the highest place value. Doing that, here's our highest place value. Actually, let me use a pen, not a highlighter. Let me try that again. Highest place value. That 7 is big enough to bring it up to a 2, and since we're not in the decimal regions, all these other digits turn into zeros, and they are necessary. We are going to have 2 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 to the 15th power. For our purposes here, the number of zeros and your exponent are going to be the same. All right, let's do the same thing with the U.S. Highest place value. That 7 is big enough to round up to a 2. And since we're in whole numbers, all these other digits turn into zeros, all of them. So we have 2 times 10. Remember, it's here. We're going to put it after the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. One more time. In estimating, your zeros will equal your exponent. All right, so we are going to compare these. The 2 is the same, so the only difference is how many 10s do we have? Well, 16 tens is much bigger, 10 times bigger than 15 tens. All right, this is the try it on the bottom of page 55. There are approximately this many cars in the world. The number of cars in the United States is this many. Compare the number of cars in the world to that in the United States. At this point, I want you to pause me and work it out. Come back for checking. Okay, so I rounded all the cars in the world to the largest place value. Everything else became zeros. I counted them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plopped my decimal right after the 1. 9 was my exponent. I did the same thing with the United States cars. I rounded to my highest place value. Everything else became zeros. I counted from the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plopped my decimal right behind the 2. 8 was my exponent. But here's where I have just a little bit of problem. And so when I don't have the same base right here and different exponents, that's a little bit hard for me. So let me give you another option. We're trying to figure out how many times bigger something is. So these are the US cars. Times bigger, I'm not sure what that is right now, but this is the world. And I want to figure out my multiplier. So I know I can cut these 3 zeros off if I cut those 3 zeros off. Cut these 3, cut those 3. Cut 2 zeros and 2 zeros, and now I'm comparing 2 and 10. Well, 2 times 5 is 10, so there are about 5 times as many cars in the world as in the US. I am by no means saying that is the only way of doing that, but I will say if you're having troubles, it's an alternative way of doing it. Okay, we are on page 56 now. So, scientific notation is used with very, very large or very, very small numbers, and we're using a power of 10. So if you have a very large number, you are going to round to the greatest place value. Let me get rid of the highlighter. Round to the greatest place value. That 5 will turn it into a 4. All other digits turn into 0. 4 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 place. Very, very small numbers, same thing. To the largest place value, that 3 is not big enough. So technically everything after the 2 turns into zeros. But because we're in the decimal realm, we don't care about those decimals. We only really care about all these decimals in front of the 2. So we have 2 times, we have a typo and I didn't even make it. That's in the book. Times, start with your decimal and move it behind the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And make sure it's negative because it is a fraction or a decimal. Okay, it's time for you to work. I want you to complete page 56, numbers 4, 5, and 6. When you are done, I want you to check with the answer key that is on my back desk.